you? It's go on and popping. We're excited to have you tune in today. We got some great stuff to discuss. You're listening to the new WCEG Network on WCEGTalkRadio.com. Click your live stream tab or watch us live on the smart TV, YouTube, WCEG Network. I'm your host, Dr. Keith, and you're for the next, about 59 minutes or so. We're going to be talking about some great topics. We're the worldwide community empowerment group. We're speaking life into the community. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and add us on Instagram at WCEG Talk Radio and WCEG Network. I tell you what, I'm excited. I am so wore out. I have no mental capacity, y'all. I just got in from, where was I? I forgot where I was. Baton Rouge, BTR. Shout out to Baton Rouge, Louisiana, to Prophetess Michelle Robinson and the Michelle Robinson Ministries, to Flowers with a Twist. Thank you for the banana pudding. Thank you for the cupcakes. Thank you for the caramel cake. I just went all in while I was in Baton Rouge. So I'm on a diet starting right now. I'm not eating no more sweets for the rest of, I'm not going to tell that lie, for the rest of the week at least. Let's welcome our co-host. She's here with me, the one and only Simone Clark Cpa. Miss CPA, what's going on at Clark Cpa and Advisors?
Nothing much. We are working, getting prepared for the end of the year, getting these finances in order for our clients. And yeah, just in the office doing what we do best, organizing and getting prepared.
Working like a Hebrew slave. The man of God is with us too, Bishop Ron Woods. He's somewhere in Chicago riding around. Big time. He's the big time man in Chicago. God bless him. His new building that he's got. He's meeting with the mayor and the alderman today. He's just making it happen. Man of God, what's happening in your world?
That's awesome.
Hey, I'm on location right now doing daddy duty, picking up my daughter. But what up, America? We finna be live and popping with some current events in just a few minutes.
All right, that's how it is. Listen, we are excited. Call a friend, call mama them, tell them to go to WCEGTalkRadio.com, WCEGTalkRadio.com, and we're going to talk to you about some different things coming up in just 1 minute. She's going to be with financial principles. I tell you what, this woman of God knows how to get your finances in order, and she can do it for you. Let's welcome back to the show, finance principles expert, Miss Simone A Clarke, CPA.
That's me. Awesome. Well, today, because like I was saying, we are nearing year end. I definitely want us to ensure that we're getting more organized and prepared for the upcoming tax year and the next tax season. So I just kind of wanted to talk about a couple of things in regards to tax returns, and then just kind of getting a better understanding of what's going on with your finances, as well as if you've had anything that has changed major in your life this year. So one of the things that I wanted to talk about is that making sure that you assess everything before year end. There's certain things that might be happening. You might have a sale of a home. You might be doing other huge things as far as maybe even acquiring a home or something like that. You want to make sure that you're doing these things at the most ideal time. So, for the persons that are actually maybe not have had a job this year because of COVID, they might be in a lower tax bracket this year. So in that case, they might want to consider if they were going to sell anything, or we're going to be receiving any types of gains or any on taxes, that this might be the year that they do that this year versus another year for which they're going to be in a higher tax bracket, therefore having a higher AGI. So meaning that if you didn't have that much income this year and you sold your home, you just would be in a lower tax bracket, meaning that you pay less taxes. And, if that's something that you can push this year versus doing next year, when you're going to probably be in a higher tax bracket, if you make more money, then that's something that you should also do. So there's things that you should be taking advantage of, just strategizing and thinking about things like those things. outside of those major events like that, people that have kids, the parents who are receiving the earned income credits, those things, you will need to know how much money you've received in those credits since they started that half-year payout, the IRS. You'll need to be able to tell your CPA or your tax preparer, because that will change your credits dollar for dollar and will affect your return. So those are things that you get a handle on now, so then when that time comes, you're not unprepared, and or you need to figure out how you got it, or search through your bank records, or even just log on to the IRS account. It's actually there as well. So that's one thing to be mindful of. What else is there to be mindful of? Oh, if you took part of any early distributions from COVID from your retirement, there was some sort of exclusion that allowed you to allocate your taxable income over a 3-year period. So say, for instance, in 2020, you had an early retirement distribution of $100,000. You could have made an election to only get taxed on 1/3 of those distributions in 2020, 1/3 in 2021, and then 1/3 in 2022. So this really gave you the opportunity to spread that taxable income over those 3 years and not be subject to paying all of those taxes in 1 year. Also, this rule also allows people who did receive early distributions due to COVID situation, that they have also the ability to pay back those disbursements, those distributions before the end of the 3 years, and would not have to then pay taxes on that. So it does allow you the ability to repay back your funds so that you don't have to be taxed on the full amount of that distribution. I know that's a lot that people didn't really know about, that a lot of people actually paid the full amount of taxes on their early distribution. But if you did get that during COVID, you definitely did have that opportunity to spread those costs. So that's something also that you want to be mindful of. So the persons that did take advantage of that 1/3 taxable portion in 2020, you'll be also doing your other 1/3 this year as well. So that's something to be thinking about. Do you have any questions in anything that I'm saying? If not, I'll just keep on going.
Well, you're doing it right so far. You're good, and that's wonderful, because a lot of people need to know what they need to do. Is it too early to start setting yourself up for next year in taxes?
Oh, no, absolutely not. And so you should definitely be doing that now. You should be definitely organizing. That's the biggest thing. So for my clients, we send out a tax organizer. And so what this does, it just kind of has a big list of everything that you could have possibly had occur throughout the year. Like I was saying, home purchase, sale of stocks, investments, or virtual assets, maybe some sort of casualty loss if your car was stolen or sold it for underpriced, those types of things. It's a tax organizer to really help compile all of those things. So it's never too early to get prepared, especially for those who have businesses that haven't been doing their bookkeeping, that don't really have a good understanding, or have been doing commingling of their funds. This is the time to really go through those accounts and really streamline to make sure that you are only deducting qualified deductions. Say for instance, meals and entertainment, meals that you purchase for yourself, just having lunch, that's not deductible if you're not traveling. Now, if you're purchasing meals for your employees and your staff, and it's for the office space, then yes, that's deductible.
But if you have sometimes we gotta, as CEOs, we gotta have a meeting with ourselves about ourselves.
Yeah, that's not deductible. Not a meeting with yourself about yourself.
So you're gonna write self on the piece on the receipt on self.
Right.
Yes. That is so funny. But then also too, we have to make sure that, like, say for instance, we're taking clients out and we're kind of wining and dining them. That's totally okay. We can deduct those meals. But if we're taking them to a sports game and dinner, that sports game is not deductible. Entertainment is not a deductible expense when you're trying to woo your clients. However, when you do go to dinner, it is.
Wow, entertainment. So if I'm taking a client out and I have a client and he wants to drink, is that deductible?
Well, yeah, it's in the meal. We're gonna say that's a part of the meal. But as far as like entertainment, like you're going to like a sports or a concert or some sort of exclusive something.
What if it's a meal at the concert? I'm just saying, what if they eating in the box? You got them in the box office and it's eating at the same time.
Yes, you can do the meal, but again, the ticket for the concert. You can feed them. No, you can feed them. You can feed them.
Okay, got you.
That's so funny. So things like that, your business owners, you want to take advantage of those things. I talk to my clients about really fine combing and going through their financials and all of that stuff, because a lot of people just, even if you have your own separate business account, which I commend so much and everybody should have it, please go get a separate business account if you are still commingling at this point. Nonetheless, a lot of business owners look at income as how much cash is received into those accounts. This is something that I've mentioned before. A lot of these websites, Shopify, Venmo, all of those things, when you already get those deposits into your account, they've already taken out fees, 3.5% in fees or processing fees or 2.95%, whatever it is. So your service fee might have been $300, but you only got deposited $275. You must make sure that you're taking advantage of that $25 of bank fees or actually just processing fees, because that's a deductible expense. And you want to make sure that you're grossing up your number when you're doing your income statement for your business. So there's certain things that you want to make sure that you're looking at and really taking a step back to make sure that you're getting all of the pieces, if that makes any sense.
That makes a whole lot of sense. Where can people connect with you, Ms. Clark?
Oh, well, right now we are revamping our website. So our website is down for right now, but you can reach us on Facebook and Instagram. On both of those platforms, the handle is going to be Clarke, that's CLARKE .CPA.LLC. And again, that's on Instagram and on Facebook. The booking link to meet and talk to us about your taxes, to do any tax planning, or if you want to get started with initial bookkeeping, consultation, all of that good stuff is available there. You can
Simone, Simone, I got a question. There's some local pastors that are listening, right? Mm-hmm. And there are organizations like you got the Dave Ramsey Financial Peace and stuff like that, but our people would like to see a person with our type of face do like a financial symposium for our parishioners. Do you do those? And if you do, how would our pastors get in touch with you for that?
Well, I don't have anything right now in the works, but I truly love educating people. And financial freedom is very, very important for me, because I know that when you are financially free, you're able to make better decisions for yourself, because those decisions are not out of a need or a necessity. But they can reach me at the office. My number is 404-772-7792. Okay, that is the front office number for Clark CPAs and Advisors. Again, it's 404-772-7792. And yes, I would absolutely love to assist anybody that really wants to get a handle on their finances for personal or business. And, you know, it's really an assessment. You have to make sure that you're organized so that you can be able to assess it. And so, yeah, absolutely. I'm always there for that.
I think a lot of pastors that are listening right now, I think, you know, Bishop Farmer and myself, we have been in a great business relationship with Simone for some time now. And I'm going to tell you, not only does she know what she's talking about, but she lives it. So I want every pastor that's watching, she's going to give you that number one more time. I want you to take that number, have your secretary call, bring her to your city, have her do a workshop to help your people become financially stable. We getting tithes and offering. Even in the pandemic, people have been giving, but post-pandemic, there will be some fallout. And people need to know how to manage their finances and protect themselves a lot better. And Simone is the person to get it done. So give me that number one more time for me.
That's 404-772-7792. Absolutely. Thank you so much for that, Ron. And absolutely. And that's the thing too. We want to make sure, and I will say this. I will say this. I've definitely seen itemized deductions. Charitable contributions are an itemized deduction. Okay. Charitable contributions are itemized deductions. It reduces your adjusted gross income. It reduces your taxable income dollar for dollar. And I will definitely say that I've seen the charitable contributions box decrease over the years from the clients that I have. So yes, for sure.
Oh, wait. Did you say?
I shouldn't have said that.
Wait a minute. You said that you've seen the charitable contribution decrease?
I have.
Okay, clients, what's going on out there? The church, even though we're in COVID, the church still needs to live, and you still need to keep the church viable. So y'all need to listen. Y'all need to make those contributions to the ministries. It ain't about the pastors, at least in churches I know. It's not about the pastor living, driving, eating. None of those things are buying clothes. Listen. You should have some other stuff going on. So you really don't need to cut your contributions, because y'all know that giving is a life principle. It's not a religious principle.
It really is.
It's a life principle for life, for your life to be blessed, your ministry, your home. Also, you got to give, and that's how you receive. He's a giver. Amen. He's the giver. So it's a life principle. And if you want your stuff to be multiplied, God will do it. Got to do it. So listen, thank you, Miss Simone Clark, for that wealth and plethora of information. I can't get it out, y'all. I told you I was tired. But listen, coming up now, I want to talk to Simone and to Bishop Ron. Bishop Ron is in Chicago. Some things have happened this week, and there's some things that have been devastating. I want to take 1 second. I know we're on radio. You know, can't do this on radio, but I want to do this anyway. I want to just take a second of silence to remember our friend. She was a sweet woman of God. She's a broadcaster that went on to be with the Lord. She passed, and to her family that they're viewing right now, her final remains. So to the family of Javita Moore, we thank you for allowing her to be who she was, and to so many of us that knew her, we just shout out to you and thank you so much. One of the great broadcasters in this country, and we're gonna miss her face on the TV. But just for 1 second, as I'm talking, everybody around, just bow your heads and just thank God for her life, her legacy, and what she did for so many. And to her wonderful family, mom and children, we say that earth has no sorrow that heaven cannot heal. Amen. So we got to keep moving. And I want to go to Bishop Ron. This topic, I'm going to bring it up to you. Then I think Simone had some suggestions of stuff we all kind of want to talk about. I'm confused as to the young man, Henry. Is it Henry Ruggs, the young man who's he's a sports young man. He was driving in his Corvette, driving at 185 miles per hour. He hit another lady, and the car exploded. The lady died in the car. I saw a picture early on social media where he was sitting outside of his car just crying like a baby. But they said his alcohol level was so high. What do you say to somebody like that? that will probably see that dream for the rest of his life, because he's going to have to go to jail. They're not going to allow him to get off. That's murder.
Yeah, he definitely is probably going to have to kiss his family and his mom and spend some time with some fellas he don't know and get to know him really well. It's a sad situation. My heart goes out to the woman's family that passed away. They lost a family member due to negligence of an individual who made a decision to not only be intoxicated, but drive at alarming rates over the speed limit. This isn't new, though. This isn't something that's new. As you guys remember, a few years back, Tiger Woods was speeding in his vehicle, had a major car accident. We've lost several rock stars from buying muscle cars or race cars and trying to put them on the road. And, it's just the need for speed. I mean, I was just driving a second ago. I ain't gonna lie, I wasn't driving the speed limit at all. So it's kind of bad. You didn't convict me now, man. Got me. But
it's a bad situation because it don't have to be the case. If you out drinking, listen to me, y'all. If you're out drinking, and I know, here's the thing about it. Many people drink and they say, I can make it home. But if you intoxicated to a certain level that when you stand up, you feel a little wobbly, sit your behind down and get some else the keys, because anything can happen. It's not just you driving, but you got to be a defensive driver. In Atlanta, one of the things that's most bad about Atlanta driving is people cut into on the expressway, especially. They cut into you without putting on a blinker. They just come over. It's over. And they're coming out. Listen, I've seen in the last 2 weeks, 2 car accidents. It was just by the grace of God they didn't get hit. One yesterday, last week it was, a lady pulled out in front of a van and the guy happened to put his foot on the brakes to stop. Y'all not paying attention. So if you're already not paying attention, now you got inebriation and you've been drinking. What people's lives are at stake? Why do we do that?
I was gonna say though, this was and unfortunately, I mean, I don't really know the guy honestly, but I mean, unfortunately, an example is gonna be made out of him, especially because like people are doing way too much. And when I say by doing too much is that he was actually taking shots while on social media or broadcasting it somehow, because I believe that's what someone communicated, that he was on some sort of Instagram live or some sort of live stream taking at least 10 shots, between like 10 to 15 shots, and was there with his significant other who also got into the car with him as well. And and I think he was immediately fired from the NFL team, which really is appropriate. And also, too, we have to make sure that we hold people accountable. Like as the woman, as the girlfriend, she should have said something. You have to be able to communicate like, this is not safe. What makes you think that this is okay? It's so many things.
But she might have done that. But was he hard? Because some people, when you've been
drinking, she caught in the car.
Yeah, but maybe not. He may not listen to her.
Money talks.
Yeah, we know money talks.
Money talks, but then money ain't gonna talk if you dead.
Now watch this though, Hope. I got a problem with 2 things in this story, and you know what? I ain't speaking out against the NFL, but the NFL is very quick to disassociate itself from athletes that they want to push and push and push. So like Bishop Farmer, let's talk about it. The psychological concept and his construct. What was he dealing with? I don't believe it was just a joyride. Could it be he was dealing with some things and using drinking as his medicinal way out, or his way out from his issues that he had? And the NFL, his team specifically, if you're dealing with issues and emotional problems, they know you got them. So why would they do that? Just like with that other NFL player went to jail for fighting those dogs, went to jail for fighting dogs, and he had to fight to get a spot back on the team. Now that's 2 different things. Another one drinking, but they all do this stuff. This isn't new. Basketball, NFL, R&B singers, rock guys, they do it. They buy these nice fast cars. And You know, they do that type of stuff. And I know they have practices in place and all that, but most of the practices they got in place are not for us or by us. They're not to protect us in any way.
Here's the thing. The NFL, number one, is about the NFL. They're going to protect themselves because they know that this boy was in a car accident. The woman dead. She died. There's going to be a hefty lawsuit. So the NFL did not want to be blamed or part of that lawsuit. It's going to be millions of dollars that's going to have to come out of this boy's pocket because of what has happened to this woman. But my thing goes back to, and here's the thing about really, you said something significant, Bishop, that many people, and I understand, many people take drinking to solve their issue or not think about the issue. And when you're not cognizant from drinking, it causes you to do things that you normally wouldn't do. And I pity the girl that she got in the car with him. Listen, if you drunk, you ain't gonna, I'm not, number one, either I'm gonna drive the car, or if I can't drive the car, I'm not gonna ride in the car with you. I'm gonna take the keys and try to hide the keys. That's just what you do. That could have been her life. It could have been her life. All could have been dead.
Take the keys, hide the keys, whatever you gotta do
to protect your life.
Situations like this don't happen, but you're not going to let that type of stuff go down. I mean, I've had family members tell me that they couldn't stop I couldn't stop him from driving his car. Well, we finna fight because I'm gonna take these keys and I'm not finna have you in no situation. You feel what I'm saying? And so, especially if I'm finna be in this car, you're gonna be in it by yourself. You'll die. I'll go to your funeral and tell everybody what happened to you because you made the decision. But come on, man, we got to stop this. And it's not just him. It's all across the board. We got R&B singers doing it. They doing crack. Let's talk about the fact that weed is legal and they still haven't set a legal limitation on the marijuana and how high you can be before you can drive vehicles. I heard you say something about Atlanta and expressway. That's a standing joke we have from Chicago. Atlanta only has freeways. Chicago has expressways. But in Chicago, they got guys out here and they be so high
that they
don't know the lights are
that you can smell it in your car. You can smell the weed coming into your car.
It's ridiculous.
I'll be driving sometime. I'll be like, whoo, if I keep driving, I'm gonna have a contact high because it's just everywhere. I mean, it's legal, but here's the thing. When do we take responsibility for not only ourselves, but for other people's lives? When will we do that?
Yeah.
When will we have common sense to know you can get high as you want, get drunk as you want, but there's other people involved and you take responsibility for other people's lives. This is what happened. He's sitting there, I saw on social media, he's sitting out there crying like a baby. Well, it's too late now. There's nothing you can do. You can't put the fire out.
Too late.
All you can do is sit there, and I could just imagine for the rest of his life, he's gonna wake up every night thinking there's a fire. There's a fire. Self-medicating. Listen, self-medicating, and we'll bring Dr. Holly back on here to talk about it. Self-medicating does not take the situation. It makes it temporary because as soon as you wake up in the morning, the situation is still knocking on your door.
Yeah.
You got to figure out another way. You got to figure out another way to get past that situation because drugs and it's not going to help it. Now somebody died.
Bishop, the crazy part about it is our culture, we glorify self-medication. You see what I'm saying? We tell them somebody died, what they do? They pour out a little bit in memory and they go get drunk, they drink, go get high, get your mind off of it. That's what we're teaching people, and people, now we're not teaching it, but that's what's been taught. And it's a stigma to get counseling or therapy. You're absolutely right. If you go to counseling, something wrong with you. If you have a therapist, you're mentally insane. That's what they tell people. And let's even go there. Not only are you weak, there are pastors still. I just heard a pastor, man, recently tell people you don't need a 12-step program. I wanted to take his microphone and hit him in the face with it. Like, you got to be careful, especially since COVID-19. There are a lot more emotional and psychological, a lot of stuff going on. You get what I'm saying? And you can't just leave people out here hanging and telling them you need one Jesus and not 12 steps. That's old school. That's 20 years ago. That's when the scariest thing that you can get.
I was going to say that's the mentality of I'm just going to pray. I'm not going to like pray over my wound or my injury or my circumstance instead of actually, maybe eating different or actually exercising. I'm just going to, leave it all to God. Now you got to put some work in there too. Like you got to have faith. You got to have some faith, but you got to put.
Simone, I was close to 700 pounds at one point in life. You didn't know me then, but I was 76, 78 in the waist. And I tell people this. One day I got on my knees and I prayed and I said, Lord, take this weight off of me, right? And then I had to pray again, Lord, help my knees to straighten up so I can stand up. Neither one of them happened.
No, you gotta be. Listen, you gotta be responsible for yourself. God give you the strength, but you gotta do something too. It ain't just listen. If you got a problem and you need counseling, get counseling. If you need to talk to somebody, talk to somebody. We'll pray with you, but there's nothing wrong with it. That's what the church has messed up. We told Jesus he is a heart fixer. He's a mind regulator. Yes, he's all that, but he has commissioned other people to be in a profession to help you get your mind right and your heart right. That's nothing wrong with that.
You just said something super spiritual and powerful at the same time. We use a phrase that Jesus is all, right?
Yes.
But Jesus never preached that.
Never preached it. He
never preached it. He preached glorifying of the Father, and he preached the work that we have to do. You see what I'm saying? And so when we preach that Jesus is all, we take the responsibility off of us and put it on him. All right, you're still going to be close to 700 pounds. You're not going to be able to breathe. You're going to need oxygen, a CPAP, and they're going to have to take 2 pairs of pants together, split them down the middle, and sew them up so you can wear them. I wasn't going to live like that, man. I decided I could not live like that. It was crazy. So I get it, self-medicating, food, alcohol, drugs, sex, relationships. I'm in a place right now where I'm comfortable being by my mouth. Say that again.
No, you just led into that there could be so many different vices.
So many.
And it's not just like what people call as drugs. It could be other, like you said, just like foods. Yeah, absolutely.
Yes. So many. Some people don't even know that church is their vice. They talk, hey, listen.
That's a good thing.
No, but listen, for real. Look, if you think about it, and Bishop Farmer, if I'm wrong, correct me. But why go to church for 40 years and never be converted, never get delivered, and never become a disciple? That means you just like church. So church is your vice.
Church is your vice, and you just used to doing it. So since it's been a habit, it's become a habit, but you're not getting out of it.
Yes, sir.
No. That ain't no
you're not really receiving.
No,
you got to be effective. You ain't making no change. Ain't nothing happening for you. Nothing like that. You don't see yourself as a different person. Then guess what? You could stay home. You don't have to come to church.
You going to Planet Fitness with a 12 box of donuts when you do that. That's all you're doing. You got a dozen of donuts on the bike, slow walking and eating.
Listen, I believe that we have to tell people. That's why we got to have Dr. Holly back to talk about all these things that self-made and what causes these things. There's so many issues that people have and they've swept it under the rug. They don't deal with it no more. There's been child molestation. People have tried to commit. So it's just so many things that they swept under the rug and thinking that if I go to church, I can dance it out, I can speak in tongues out. That's not going to happen. That's temporary, but you want a real deliverance. Real deliverance gets to the root of what's bothering you. What's the real issue? What's the real issue? We gotta find what the real issue is and get you delivered. Help you get delivered. And if you get delivered, may not mean you'll speak in tongues.
No. I mean, and that's another misnomer in the Bible. Man, we can go through all the biblical misnomers. Like, it becomes, after a while, it's heartbreaking to see that people feel like you know, and think like this. This young man, his life is over. He was well on his way to be probably the next superstar the NFL would ever see. His life
over.
His life is over.
Over.
It's over. And
Now,
but you know what, Mr. Farmer? So go so many of our black young men on a daily basis. They go out here in these streets, pants hanging down to their ankles, and they shooting these guns. And the guns didn't come from them. Where did they come from? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Their life is over in the blink of an eye. Life is over. Right here in Chicago, right here, bro, in Chicago, family on the way to church. They on their way to church. They walking out their house in broad daylight. Two young men who had beef with each other. They just decided Sunday was the best day to roll up and start shooting. Why the family leaving to go to church? You see what I'm saying? Now the one fella, he going to jail, and the other fella in critical condition. Life is over. He probably gonna be paralyzed. It's just ridiculous to see this type of stuff happen, and it's all across the board.
Just let me transition to something that you talk about that, and we talk about people who it's star power, and sometimes star power makes you think you can say what you want to say. So on today in the news, the one and only Will Smith says that he was going to kill. He had planned to kill his father. He was going to kill his father, and he had figured out what he would say to 911. His father had abused his mother, and he wanted to kill his daddy because of the abuse of his mother. So he makes this statement. Now, is that a statement for publicity? Is that the truth? Or really, why you got to say it after all these years? I'm confused. Why would I? There's no way in the world. I guess I grew up different. I'm not gonna get on social media and say I want to kill my daddy. I'm not gonna even say nothing like that. But why say that? And what's the benefit of it to say that you would kill your father because you abused your mother? And now it's made national news. Are you looking for publicity? Because this Will Smith and Jada have been having a lot of press here lately. Maybe they need media. Maybe they need, I don't know what they need, but what is going on that you'd admit that you're gonna kill your daddy?
I think he just missing Jada personally. That's probably what.
Yeah.
Missing how? They missing. What you mean by missing?
And you know what? Will Smith does do that every year when it's a new movie coming out. He say something like he used to put a movie out every year around. It was the 4th of July, but after a while he started using bad press to put his name back in the air when he had a new movie coming out. So it could be the fact he got a movie coming out too. That could be the fact.
Yeah, or try to make himself look tough in the eyes of what Jada just said about her not being fulfilled by him. So maybe he's trying to show his manliness.
Wait.
Everybody knows that.
And manliness and toughness by saying he's gonna do that to assist him to.
Okay, that brings up another point. Why are we airing our dirty laundry in the nation? The heck with that. If you and your husband got some issues, that's a two-on-two conversation. We need.
But she has a talk show. It's the Red Talk Table, and
I mean, what else could she do? The girl she got a preschooler and started dating a preschooler. I mean,
not the preschooler.
She started dating somebody younger than her kid. I mean, so the whole world probably know. I mean, he need to free Willie and shut up. That's what's wrong with the man. He need a little help. I don't know. Something ain't right. But why talk about all your stuff in the press? I would talk about it.
I mean, but it's celebrity life. Like, that's what they do. Like, they have to. Like, she needs views for the Red Talk Table. She needs to be, what is it? What they call it? She needs to be the hashtag. She needs to be trending. You know, that's what they need.
You got all these young people that pattern their life after you and pattern their life after what you do. You got your son, your daughter. I don't even know if it's a son or daughter doing something. You know what? Then you go over there to what's his name? The other two, the couple, the Dwayne Wade, his wife, and
don't get into that. If you
So
start
much.
talking about the first of all, I can't go with you on the Wades because they family from here. I don't want nobody outside my church. That's
Okay,
number one.
Okay.
Number two,
We're not gonna do
you
that,
gonna
then.
have
We're not gonna do it. We're not gonna do it.
you go. Hey, you better stop for you end up like Dave Chappelle. That's all I'm gonna say. That's number two.
Oh
Number
Lord,
three,
No,
they gonna boycott to take us off
they
the
go boycott the
WCEG
take us
network.
out. Hey,
They
I
gonna
don't
boycott it.
all I'm saying is I don't understand. I just don't understand why we have to air our what happened to in life. All three of you know. I know Simone's mom. I know your mom.
What
and
go
I
on
know,
in this house, stay in this house.
I know they told you that. What go on in the
But that
house?
could
stay
be
in the house.
toxic too.
How?
It's very toxic. Do you
It
know
could
how
be
many
toxic
people?
if you like
What-
your mom is not like the good people. Like, so my mom, she was like, she's epic. She's amazing. She's like,
And
she's
I
just the
heard she
greatest
can
thing.
cook, huh?
And she can cook. So my mom always had that slogan of what happens in this house stays in this house. And it was more of like, don't go out telling like, just like dirty laundry or just telling the business. But I guess what gets toxic about it is if like something inappropriate is happening in the house when it needs to be communicated, that's when it's not happening. But then like my mom also had this is probably off topic, she had those conversations with me. Is someone touching you? Did you feel uncomfortable anytime at school? Or we had those conversations, we talked about things. So there was never a need to where I never really knew what was right or if it was wrong, or if I never was confused. I knew what was right and what was wrong and those type of things. So,
I mean, you got to be careful. It can be a double-edged sword because a lot of times, these family constructs today, it's a lot of stuff going on. Kids are getting molested and all that stuff. But in my house,
Well, I mean, okay, that's different. Then I need to find somebody I can communicate with. That's a different situation.
right?
But don't come out telling your situation about your wife, your husband, this ain't this and this ain't this. I think that's more personal.
I'm gonna tell you, man. I grew up like this, Bishop. I grew up, man, old school Pentecostal, and we couldn't talk about what was going on in the house. But every time my mama got up to testify,
she told it.
Something else was coming out.
Right. She told it. I rise, give honor to God, who's the head of my life. And yesterday, this is what happened.
Yes, sir.
Oh my God. Yes. Oh my God. We just.
And I will also say too that I think that something that's also changed from like this time, from the times where I grew up, as far as like grown up conversations and children conversations. Like shouldn't even be in this room. Like adults are talking. There's a lot of kids just having grown up conversations, knowing what's going on in the house. Like that's none of your business. Stay in a child's place. And there's a lot of overlap and interlap of that as well. So
wait. I gotta break into that. I got to break into it because I got a question for y'all now. Hey, Farmer, I know you hosting, Doc, but I want to ask a question. Is it all right?
Well, it depends on what the. Yeah, go ahead.
You already know. Okay, so here it is. At what age is it appropriate for your child to become like your girlfriend or boyfriend? When I say
there is no age. What you mean?
No,
wait.
not dating. Listen, not dating.
Okay.
Not dating. Right. Like Simone and her mom, they real close, right? My mom
as a mother, as a mom and daughter.
Right.
Right.
What age is that appropriate for the mother and the daughter to talk? The mother to talk her level situations with her daughter.
Ooh.
You catch what I'm saying?
That's unique. That's unique to the relationship. That was for Bishop, though. You ain't asked me that. My bad.
No, that's for everybody. Cause see, say for instance, I got a son, and my son, he got kids, right? So I'm talking to my daughter, and I'm correcting my daughter, and when I'm done correcting my daughter, he got real common with me, like, yeah, because I had to do that with my daughter. And I was like, yo, wait a minute. I'm still your dad. You get what I'm saying? I'm not going to drink a beer with you. I'm not going to smoke a cigar with you. I'm not going to talk about the girls with you. Now, I'll let you know the rules of the road, the birds and the bees.
How old is he?
My son is 22. But I'm not.
Okay, but he's not grown yet. That's why. He's not grown.
Right. So, but what age is it? Because I think that a lot of the issue, what you're saying is, a lot of the issue is nothing is sacred, because a lot of these mamas, especially, and I'm finna get in trouble with a lot of women, they have made their daughters their girlfriends. And so it's like, I'm telling you all my business, but when it's time for me to correct you, I'm going to correct you. And if I know all your business, you can't correct me. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I say it's different. And I say that because he's younger. He's like 22. So one thing I will always say is my mama will always tell me, I am not one of your little friends. And I don't care if you don't like me. You're not supposed to like me. I'm your mama. You don't have to like me, but I will always be your mama. So that's where that was. But then I'm grown now. Like I'm like 36, 37. I don't even know how old I am. So now like I'm actually an adult. So we can actually have those conversations. I think that it's like once you hit a maturity level, and then also like a real, like you're taking care of yourself, like completely maybe. But also I think that again, with the age and the maturity, you know when you can say things and when you don't. Cause like even to this day, like I'm still not gonna say nothing like crazy. Like, I mean, she still might, you know.
Listen, would you curse in front of your mama?
Oh my God. Let me tell y'all stuff right here. Okay. Two things. One, I would never cuss in front of my mama. I would never do that. Never, no. Because my mom would say, hey, I'm going to knock your teeth out. I'm still your mama. That's the first thing. Listen, even in my state of being a bishop, when I would visit my mom's house, my mom had a boyfriend. My mom, I had a key. She would tell me, call before you come to my house. You don't just walk in my house. And if you in my house, what you don't be telling, I'm telling you, don't tell nobody what goes on I ain't your friend. I'm your mama. I don't care. Then the other thing was, I don't care how old you get. I'm gonna always be your mama. So please, the thing is now that parents have become friends with their children. I love my 19-year-old son. I love him tremendously, but I'm not his friend. And I tell him, hey, I'm not one of your little boys you playing basketball with. I'm your dad. Pop, you can call me dad, pops, whatever. And I'll go upside your head on the court if I have to. So it's a difference. The society that we live in now, parents, because the age is so close and they got so common with each other, the parents smoking weed with their children. They drinking with their children. There's some things you just don't do with your parent. I would feel real.
I have
real
a glass
bad.
of wine with my mama now. We
okay, but
it's wine and have a conversation.
But you're probably having conversation something like that. But I mean, sitting there doing other things. No.
But your mama, see, your mama established a boundary with you from what you're saying.
Oh, yeah.
Your mama established a boundary with you. Yes. And the boundary was, I'm your mama.
Right.
So you had that sense of respect. So now y'all relationship is what it is, but you still got respect, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now,
absolutely.
Let's go back to the conversation at hand. And let's look at party hanging out with the kids. Thank you. That's what I'm saying. Let's go back to the conversation at hand. Both Will Smith and the Wades felt like in order to allow their children to have a sense of creativity, they allowed them to do outlandish things. You see what I'm saying? That go beyond the boundary of a parent and the child, where the parent should be using discipline as a tool and not of manipulation, but of redirection. You catch what I'm saying? But they didn't feel that it was appropriate to do so. And so now you got one young man or young lady, now we don't know, you know what I'm saying? But then you got another set of kids over here, and you can see, like, it's not uncommon knowledge. Will Smith was on the show, and he said his daughter had a record deal. A major record deal was going to open up for a major artist. And when it was time for her to do the show, because he made the call for her to get on this show, she's in the dressing room. She says, I'm not going to do it. And it was a major artist, superstar. She says, I'm not going to do it. And he allowed her to not do the show. And there's people out here who are twice as gifted. You get what I'm saying? And it's like, they can't even get the opportunity. I don't know.
Yeah. But they're so concerned. He's concerned about having his daughters like. He's worried about having his daughters like. So that's why he was doing that. But pushing her, I mean, to some extent, like encouragement, those types of things, like it helps build character. Like you can't commit, like it's just not a good life skill to communicate and commit to something and then just pull out with no reasoning. Of course, mental illness, you're not, something is happening with you, you've experienced something and you need time, yes. But sometimes we use this mental illness as an excuse to commit on decisions, things that we said that we were going to do and that we were going to carry out. We have to make sure that we don't, use that as like a scapegoat to not really fulfill things, commitments indicated. Absolutely.
Yeah, where's the level of commitment? Where's and then the work ethic behind it? If daddy can make a call and anything can happen, we have an entitlement. And so we have, even in generation now, I dealt with a few young people yesterday, like, man, they have the core values of respect. That's the word I'm looking for exactly, are not there because the discipline as a tool of redirection and find alignment is not there anymore. I was in a meeting, Farmer, and in this meeting, we were trying to set it up to teach young men HVAC. Do you know they had to put $1,000 stipend at
to make them want to fit the class
on this and to men want to be a part of it.
Yeah.
You're gonna get certifications for a career.
HVAC is a multi-million-dollar business.
But you got to give them $1,000 stipend to go to the class.
Right. They're not gonna go free. They're not gonna go free. They're not gonna do it. They don't have it in them. They don't have it in them. Listen, I don't know what happened. I don't know what we got to just figure out. I think we are mandated to help them figure out how to gain the respect back, how to get back into it. And it starts. We were a church. We all started in church, and we all started knowing the right thing to do. But somewhere we've missed it. We've gone astray. And it's the foundation has left us, and we don't have the same foundation that we had before. There's just certain things we just couldn't do. There's certain things we just didn't do. I guess since now the church, since the world's doing it, the church practices it. It's just all messed up everywhere. Somebody got to speak up. Somebody got to make it right, and somebody got to make sure before it's too late. The generation coming up now, no respect. I was in the airport. Listen. I took off my glasses today in the airport. I couldn't understand it. They got on pajamas in the airport. They got on them big shoes, the house shoes. They got them rags on their head. I'm like, what happened? Where are we now? Do you look at yourself in the mirror before you get up and come to the airport? Now you don't have to even brush your teeth because you got a mask on. So, I mean, come on. What happened to the sense of pride? What happened to the sense of your first impression, your last impression? It's just so much stuff that's going on. And then I saw a young lady cussing out a little baby, couldn't have been more than 7, cussing her mama.
Oh, they cussing at the kids now. They are cussing at the kids now. Like if you don't shut the HE double hockey sticks up, or you
and the kids cussing back. They're cussing back. I ain't gonna do that.
The kids cussing just as bad as the parents.
Yes.
I saw a kid tell her mama shut the F up in Walmart. I took my belt off, Farmer, and ran after the kid. I was like, Jesus.
You better not hit that kid, because that parent would have turned around and hit you.
Let me tell you something.
That
parent
got
the parent and the kid. Do you hear me?
Because you letting your child run around. And if you do that, if a person without discipline will do anything because they have no discipline, that'll be the person that shoots you in the head as a parent, because that person has not been taught discipline. You gotta have children discipline. None. You don't care about in the store. I saw a kid in Walmart laying on the ground, screaming, hollering. I looked at myself. I said, "Oh my God! If that's my child, I would." Ooh.
And it's not white kids no more. Black kids acting like that now.
You can't be saying that.
Oh, I'm sorry, but you know it's the truth. Y'all know, hey, I'm the one that keep it real 100%.
And then if a child act up, I'm gonna put you in timeout. Timeout. What the
Time out.
time on that butt with the belt? Oh my God,
5 licks.
we didn't got all off the subject
All
today
off topic. This is hilarious, but it's a good topic. It needs to be talked about.
It need to be talked about because when will a parent stand up and be a parent? Oh my God. My mother would tell us, I'm gonna knock your teeth out. Guess what we do? We set ourselves somewhere down because we didn't know she's gonna do it anyway. I remember the one time I really got in trouble, she came with an extension cord. That thing was thick, and I ran. She said, I don't know what you're running for. You got to come home. I'll wait till your butt goes sleep and whip your tail. And that's exactly what happened. I was knocked out sleeping. She came in there. I still got the scar.
You know what? Let me say this, because there may be somebody listening and they think we endorse child abuse. We don't. But let's keep it 100% mentally, spiritually, psychologically, and socially. Let's go to the justice system right now. We live in a generation where they will jail us for whipping our children or spanking our children.
Right.
But the police will kill our kid and get off, be retired and move to Florida. The devil is a liar. So something has to change. Do you know how many, we talk about George Floyd, how many other George Floyds happened under the age of 25? And the police got away with it and they're retired, got their pension, and they gone about their life. And these kids are gone because they took discipline out of the home. And they tell you now, it's called, I forgot what they call it, but the last word is force. It's like a usable force or a necessary force that has to be. But even, and here's another current event I want to bring up. I'm gonna drop it on you real quick. Some police, some states, the police are rewriting their law where they don't chase you anymore. Did you know about that? If you do a crime and you take off, they don't.
Can they shoot you?
No, listen. They what they do is they're allowing people because they're saying pursuing them and chasing them is heightening the it's too dangerous to chase. They're saying it's heightening the probability of other people getting hurt or killed. So they're allowing these guys to take off running, and they're using cameras from satellites to get identification on them and then put out search warrants to get them and arrest them.
Don't say that too loud because the average criminal that's listening to us will try to make a plan and try to run and think you don't get caught. That's not the case. You don't get caught.
It's called face recognition. That's what it is.
Yeah, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't think you're not going to get caught. If you'll get caught, it's better not to do it. It's just better not to do it. We got to wrap up. We got to get up out of here. Almost time is almost up. Simone, tell us again how people can reach you.
Yes, guys. So the firm is Clark CPAs and Advisors. You can reach us at 404-772-7792. The office manager will be able to answer and direct calls. You can reach us on Instagram and Facebook at clarke.cpa.llc.
Bishop, how can people reach you?
The people can reach me at Preach Woods on Instagram, Preach Woods. Or they can reach me at ipreach111@gmail.com. And they also can reach me,
What you about to say?
They also can reach me at Prevailing Church Chicago on Facebook. Or just get in touch with Bishop Farmer and tell him you want to reach the big bald black guy.
I'm the connector. You just call me. On social media is Dr. Keith Farmer on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You can reach out to me. Listen, this coming Monday night here in Atlanta is going down at Team Jesus Ministries. It's the Revival Series with Jacqueline Carr, Coco Brother, Joanne Rosario, Prophet Serafina Thomas, Lady D, Lady T. I tell you, it is going to be some happening stuff. The Prophet Tate is hosting us, and we are going to have a great time. If you're in the Atlanta area, get to Team Jesus Ministries. I think it's 4140 Jonesboro Road. We got a few seats left. Get there. We're going to be having a great time. You'll see all of our faces. Come in there and tell, hey, I heard you on radio. We want to meet you. We want to meet you. Be nice to meet you. Listen, I want to shout out again. Go to Instagram to @flower_with_a_twist. That's Instagram @flower_with_a_twist. I really liked it, y'all. It was really good. And if you're in the Baton Rouge area, go see my sister, Prophetess Michelle Robinson. She's right there on Scenic Highway every Sunday morning at 9 o'clock. Listen, we're gonna next week when we come back. Next week we're gonna talk to Bishop Woods about his new edifice. I want to see some pictures. I want to hear a little bit of his music. We got to get up out of here. Until next week. Thank you, Lady Simone.
I'm about to steal your glasses and run. I'm stealing your glasses and run. You can't chase me.
That's right. I'm gonna put another pair on while you're in town, so you won't even see them. I will see you next time on It's a New Day. Peace.